Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jagopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe. Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरण भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की विदाई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 14th chapter, text number 51. Maitreya uvacha Shrutva Bhagavatam pautram Amodhataditirbrisham Putrayoschavadham Krishnan विदित्वासीन् महामनः मैत्रेय उवाच श्रुत्वा भागवतं पौत्रम् अमोदतदितिर्भृशम् पुत्रयोश्च वदं कृष्णा विदित्वासीन् महामनः मैत्रेय उवाच श्रुत्वा भागवतं पौत्रम् अमोदतदितिर्भृशम् पुत्रयोश्च वदं कृष्णा विदित्वासीन् महामनः Word to word meaning. Maitreya Uvacha. The sage Maitreya said, Shrutva, by hearing Bhagavatam, to be a great devotee of the Lord. Pautram, grandson. Amodata, took pleasure. Diti, Brasham, very greatly. Putrayo, of the two sons. Cha, also. Vadham, the killing. Krishna, by Krishna. Viditva, knowing this. Asit, became. Mahamanaha, highly pleased in mind. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srilaprabhupada. Translation. The sage Maitreya said, hearing that her grandson would be a great devotee and that her sons would be killed by Krishna, Diti was highly pleased in mind. Please repeat the translation. The sage Maitreya said, hearing that her grandson would be a great devotee and that her sons would be killed by Krishna, Diti was highly pleased in mind. Purport. Diti was very aggrieved to learn that because of her untimely pregnancy, her sons would be demons and would fight with the Lord. But when she learned that her grandson would be a great devotee and that her two sons would be killed by the Lord, she was very satisfied. As the wife of a great sage and daughter of great Prajapati Daksha, she knew that being killed by the personality of Godhead is a great fortune. Since the Lord is absolute, His acts of violence and non-violence are both on the absolute platform. There is no difference in such acts of the Lord. Mundane violence and non-violence have nothing to do with the Lord's acts. A demon killed by Him attains the same result as one who attains liberation after many, many births of penance and austerity. The word Brisham is significant herein because it indicates that Diti was pleased beyond her expectations. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 3rd canto, 14th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Pregnancy of Diti in the Evening. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnaprestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maitreya Uvacha Shrutva Bhagavatam Pautram Amodata Dhitirbhrisham Putrayoscha Vadam Krishna Viditvasin Mahamanaha. The sage Maitreya said, hearing that a grandson would be a great devotee and that our sons would be killed by Krishna, Diti was highly pleased in mind. See, this is the benefit of Vedic culture. A person born in Vedic culture or who's who has been taught the Vedic understanding of life, they are very mature. Say, in our world, if we tell, especially to a lady and to a mother, that to a mother, that the child that you are going to give birth to is going to be killed by somebody, what will be the state of that lady, of that mother? She will be totally devastated. She cannot even handle, because for a mother, there is nothing more dear than her child, because that child is an extension of her own body, of her own self. Just like if somebody cuts off our hands or legs, how we will feel. More than that, a mother feels for her offspring. We can see in all species of life, in every species of life, animal life, human life, no matter which life, they will be very seriously affected. So here, Kashyapa, the wife of Kashyapa, the husband of Diti, has predicted that because of certain actions that they have committed, they have to face such kind of situation. The loss of a son or a daughter when the parents are still there alive is huge loss. It makes, Shastra says elsewhere that loss of putra, loss of a son or a daughter, loss of a child is very bad karma for anyone, any parent to get. It puts that person into great misery, great pain. And such elevated people, these are Kashyapa and Diti, are not ordinary people. Kashyapa is a great saint. Diti is the daughter of Prajapati Daksha. Great status, very, they have great standing in society. They are not ordinary people. And when such class of people have to be ready for such kind of a thing, it's not easy. But yet you can see that Diti here, after hearing from Kashyapa the various aspects of what is going to happen, especially with respect to the qualities of her grandson. One is our own son, and then the grandsons. Of course, our two sons are going to be killed, and they are going to create lot of chaos in the society. So that is definitely not wanted. But then the laws of material nature are so severe. If you perform an action that is not in line with the material laws, then there is a consequence that we have to face. Very tough. So, as already previously described, Diti was overwhelmed with lust, and due to that, she indulged in an act, and a chain of events naturally will follow. So she was devastated. See, when we are overcome by certain feelings and emotions, no matter how intelligent we are, but yet we act very unintelligently. Krishna says this in the Bhagavadgita. What is that? Verse where Krishna says that Na buddhi vedam janayet ajnado. What is that? कौन सी श्लोक है वो? में ये नहीं है क्या? Anyway, so even intelligent people, they get bewildered. So what to speak of ordinary living entities? Just as here the description that Diti was highly pleased in mind, the only consideration, because like I told you in the beginning, the benefit of being in Vedic culture, because she was in Vedic culture, she knew that she knew about the ultimate purpose of life. What is the ultimate purpose of life? Ultimate purpose of life is to be blessed by the Lord, to connect with the Lord. So here Kashyapa is saying that she will have a grandson and she will have sons who will definitely create lot of unwanted things, but yet her sons will be killed by Krishna, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So she is seeing the reality because she has understood the absolute, the real truth of existence, that ultimately the purpose of life is to be connect with, like you said, is to connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you are going to be killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you have established connection. So on the absolute plane, getting killed and getting hugged, getting caressed, there is no difference. There is no difference. When somebody comes and somebody pats our back, somebody nicely massages our head, we feel nice. That's a action of affection, right? When we meet some child, when we meet our mother or our father, affectionately pats us. So we feel loved, we feel cared for, right? But say if somebody comes and pinches you, somebody beats you, immediately we feel hurt, we feel pained. So there is duality. In the material world, there is duality. Whereas in the absolute realm, there is no duality. Krishna's pinch, Krishna's beating, and Krishna's caressing, Krishna's patting is the same thing. There is no difference. In the material world, dvandva, there is difference. There is duality. There is difference in actions. That is why we say, for Krishna, angani yasya shakalendri vritti manti pashyanti yam. The Krishna's all angas can do all activities. There is no difference between Krishna's eyes. There is no difference between Krishna's tongue. Like in the material world, there is dvandva. Tongue can perform only tasting. Eyes can perform only seeing. Ears can perform only hearing. But no. In the spiritual realm, that is not true. Angani yasya shakalendriya vritti manti. Any organ, any senses can perform any action. So that is the Lord's absoluteness. Here in the material world, everything is relative. So similarly, the Lord's violence, the Lord's non-violence, there is no difference. That's why Mahaprabhu says what? Ashlishya va padaratam pinashtu mama darshanan marmayatam karotu va yata tata va vidadatu lampato mat prananatastu sayevana. My dear Lord Krishna, it doesn't matter to me whether you crush me or you hug me. Both are equal for me, because you are hugged or you are crushed. There is no difference. Mahaprabhu's only request is, Mama janmani janmani ishware bhavatat bhakti rahaitu kitu. Life after life, I should be only engaged in your service. Bhavatat bhakti rahi kitvai. So you see, there's no disconnect there. Whereas in the material world, for us, there is pain, oh, I hate it. There is enjoyment, oh, I love it. We see difference in pain and we see difference in enjoyment. And this pain and enjoyment is felt by what? Is felt by our body senses. Our mind, body, and intelligence experiences pleasures and pains. Whereas spirit is beyond such kind of thing. That's why Krishna says in the Bhagavadgita, Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Na shochati na kankshati. One who is situated on the Brahman platform. When we say Brahman platform, on the spiritual platform. For him, there is no question of lamentation or what is that? What is that word called? Na shochati, na kankshati. He is lamenting or demanding. There is nothing that he wants, or there is nothing that he has lost. Both are the same thing. So, Diti here is seeing, Arey, chalo, theek hai. On an external level, she has given birth to her sons, and that sons is going to be killed. Killed by whom is the question. If their son was killed by another criminal, then it's a problem. But here they are being killed by the Supreme Personality of God. So it is the same. So, in our, like for example, sometimes the spiritual master is very heavy, and the disciple sometimes he is not able to figure out why this person is being so heavy on a certain issue. If you see, there is one video of Srila Prabhupada speaking in Melbourne or in Sydney somewhere. Prabhupada had gone there, and Prabhupada is giving a lecture in Melbourne or in Sydney. And at that time, some communist people, some atheist fellows, and some Christian fanatics, they were there in that hall. When Prabhupada is speaking, they are raising slogans, they are teasing Srila Prabhupada, they are shouting at Prabhupada. So Prabhupada's lecture was disturbed. And Prabhupada being Indian, and at that time, 70, 80 years Prabhupada didn't understand why they are screaming, why they are shouting. So Prabhupada asked, if you see the video, it is very interesting. So Prabhupada asks, what are they saying? What is their problem? What is their problem? So actually they are commenting. The people, the Christians are saying, why have you come here? We have Jesus Christ, why have you come here to speak about some Krishna? That is their issue. Then the communists are saying, you are saying people are rascals, people are this one, you are commenting like this about so many things. You are saying sex is not allowed. You are saying this, so many rules. Prabhupada, they have heard here and there, and they feel that Prabhupada is a fanatic religious person. So you see that incident shows how uncultured they were. Because when Prabhupada is saying about all these things, whether it is bringing in Krishna, Prabhupada never presented Krishna as a sectarian religion. That means a few people have adopted one kind of faith. So it is not correct on another faith to come into that community and start speaking about that. It's not decency. So that is their question. You are indecent person that you are coming into our society and trying to talk about another God which we have already got in our community. So that is wrong. So whereas Prabhupada is not talking about God as my group God or your group God. Prabhupada is presenting God as Krishna as what? Prabhupada presenting Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is relevant to every soul in this universe. Whether man, human, animal, janma, whatever it is. For everybody, Krishna is relevant. Krishna, there is a connection. There is no understanding of that. They think it's just another sectarian religion. So we have to stop it. Just like in today's society, you can see there is like Hindu society is there. Oh, they're worried. Oh, where the Christian will come and capture. Oh, we don't want you. Don't enter. We have made boundaries. No, don't enter. This is my territory. Just like that lion is there, the dog is there. Oh, this is my road. Don't come to my road. This is my road. Right. So these are all actually artificial boundaries. There is no boundary. Soul has no boundary. Real knowledge, there is no rules like this. Prabhupada also was very critical about, see now if I have to go to America, I need a visa. Prabhupada commented on this. If you go to America, they will not allow you to enter America. First you have permission. Visa means what? Visa means permission from that country to enter that country. You need an American visa. Right? But God didn't create these divisions. It was man-made. It was created locally. So this is relative thing. So here Diti is seeing that reality. That yes, my son's getting killed. He is not very wanted thing. But yet, because they are being directly, they are getting into, Krishna is directly intervening in their life. He is the highest perfection of life. If Krishna is intervening in our life, there is no better than that. Because our life, whatever is happening generally, is happening because of our own karmas. There is no any God interacting in our life. I am falling sick because of what? My karma. I am being poor because of my karma. I am being rich because of my karma. I am beautiful because of my karma. I am ugly because of my karma. In the material world, there is only one rule. What is that rule? We get or we lose. Only reason is our karma. Karanam guna sangasya. The reason is the material modes of nature. Material modes of nature works on living entity according to their own individual karmas. Whereas, if the Lord is directly intervening in your life, you are a special soul. You are not an ordinary soul. Krishna is directly intervening. That Krishna says in the Bhagavadgita. That ultimately the rule of the karma prevails for everybody. But mad bhaktesh abhidasyate. But for my devotee, I am there, I am present. Name bhakta pranashyati. Please hear that my devotee will never be vanquished. See, you have a special umbrella. You have a special kavacha of getting protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead if you are a devotee of Lord Krishna. So Diti is recognizing this aspect, that her son, although is getting killed, but yet they are getting killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So she was happy. So she was happy. In the material world, sometimes people say, जो भी होता है भगवान का इच्छा है ना. People say, make the comment, ये सब भगवान की इच्छा से हो रहा है. भगवान का इच्छा क्या है? To really get भगवान का इच्छा is not easy. What is, जो भी हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है? जो भी हो रहा है वो आपकी कर्म के हिसाब से हो रहा है. भगवान का इच्छा is very special. If Bhagavan's sanction is there, Bhagavan's sanction is there basically because karma is there. Impersonal justice system. He like for example in the court of law, if you are arguing a case in the court, then there is a judge who will sit here and two lawyers will argue. So when the two lawyers argue the case, the judge has to hear basically ideally, he has to hear the merits of the case and then give the verdict. So supposing to hear radhekrishnaworld, to hear the case, because the judge has to clearly go only by what are facts and then decide the verdict. So for that to happen, the judge should not have any bias, either towards or against. He should have no bias. Okay, what is a crime? This is a crime. Okay, what is your... he will argue that this is what, that's all. And then he has to give a verdict. So sometimes, say, you have come for one case against me. Supposing if the judge, some way or the other, knows you, oh, acha, Naman is my friend, or I know him, or I know his father, or I know some of his relative. So somewhere the judge may have a thing, hey, this person is known to me. It comes into the mind, no, that maybe I should help him. I should not make the case so bad against him. So generally, the judges are trained that in case they are aware or they are some way connected with the petitioner, then the judge should not take up that case. He says, not before me. He says, don't present this case before me. Why? Because some way knowing that person may influence his decision making. That is why he says, don't present this case in front of me. Because when the judge has to give the decision, he has to be completely unbiased. And that is possible in the material world only when you don't know that person. Otherwise, there may be some feeling that may come into our mind, right? So judge has to do it very impersonally. Karma is like that. Karma is unbiased way decision is made. Okay. Diti did this in the night, in the evening time, and she has given birth to these two sons. Now make them Rakshasas. Karma has decided. Whereas, what does Krishna say to a devotee? Krishna is saying to a devotee, the Gita, apichet suduracharo tum bhajate maam ananya bhag sadureva samantavyam samyak vyavasito vaya. Krishna is saying, hey, chalo yaar, मेरा भक्त है ना, गलती भी किया है तो मेरा भक्त है, उसको साधु ही मानो. See, Krishna is partial. Krishna is partial. He goes another step. He says, apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavyam samyak vyavasito vaya. Even if he has committed a very abominable act, yet because he is my devotee, there are so many instances. Krishna personally intervenes. Because Krishna is absolute. He sees things in a different way. He is understanding. He is understanding many other things beyond what we can see and understand things. In this material world, everybody is very quick to pass judgments. Oh, my father is like this. My mother is like this. My wife is like this. My daughter is like this. This boy is like this. Why you're telling my father did like this? My mother did like this. That is immaturity. That is kiddishness. That kind of thinking is very kiddish. Should be very matured, very in making such kind, when coming to conclusions based on just some incidents. That's not very intelligent. But sometimes even you try to speak to somebody who has made a decision like that and come to that conclusion, then you make them understand. No, it's not. They're adamant. No, it's like that. I know. They're overwhelmed by arrogance, false ego. They don't want to listen. Then you should wait, leave it. No point in giving any explanation. They will realize after some time. But it is very painful because you have lost so much of time. You have lost so much of opportunity to engage with another person. Relationships are very, it's a tightrope. So the Vedic culture, that is called sanskar. The Vedic culture makes you very grounded, makes you very balanced in life. As we can see Diti here, because of her Vedic upbringing, she is able to see far more benefit than just seeing the loss of her children. Definitely, any mother will feel sad, will feel pained when they hear that their son is going to be killed. But yet, here Prabhupada is particularly pointing out the word brisham. She was greatly happy. Because she could see the larger picture, the bigger picture. That no, even if they are going to be killed, ultimately they are going to be killed by the Supreme Personality of God. What more benefit is it required? The hand of God is present in this incident. So as devotees, we should also learn to see the bigger picture. Some immediate pain is there. Some immediate difficulties are there. But sticking to the process, continuing with that process is most important. There's so many things. Every aspect of our life can be connected in this way. Living in the ashram. Come on, we are living in the ashram. All different kinds of people, different kinds of mentalities. Sometimes we feel frustrated. Arey, what is this? I have to live with all these people. I can't do anything on my own. Everything I have to ask. But you see, yes, that is a pain. There is a pain there. No doubt about it. I do not have freedom. Even if I have to go out, I have to ask. There is a pain. But see the benefit. So many benefits are there. What is the consciousness that I have? By being here, I am able to get up every day in the morning. I am able to chant my rounds. I am able to live with a community of devotees who accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Far more benefits than seeing some very, very minor pains. N number of examples are there in our day-to-day life where we face this kind of situations. But if we are having the strong Krishna conscious principle understandings, then we don't see those n number of pain points as very, very significant. It becomes insignificant. Okay. It's all very insignificant things. It's all minor problems. But when you don't have sufficient sufficient spiritual culture, then these minor issues become very, very big. Oh, Prabhu spoke to me like this. Prabhu is not treating me. And we keep on chewing this. And then we start becoming different. We become far and from our chosen path. And Maya becomes so overwhelmed that we very soon forget who is Krishna itself. We will forget. Just as we were eternal associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we have come here in the material world. But somehow by our good fortune, we got the association of Srila Prabhupada, and that association of Srila Prabhupada revived our connection with the Supreme Personality of God. So that revival, although it has been revived, it is not very strong. Just like, for example, you with great difficulty you light a candle, right? A candle you have lit, that will give us light. Say if this is dark, somehow you lit a candle and you made it, and you feel, oh, at least I can see what is there in this room. That candle is the medium for us to see, for our eyes to work. But you can see that candle light, one small wind, boom, gone. It will get immediately switched off. Our spiritual life is also like that. Little bit carelessness. It's gone. Again we are in the darkness. We should be very careful, alert. And we started the candle, now you should make it a blazing fire. So even if there are wind, even if there is a storm, say volcano is coming, there is a big volcano, some wind will come, any difference to the volcano? Some rain will come. It has no difference to the volcano, because the heat that it generates is so much. Right? Prabhupada always gives the example of the sun. The cloud can show dadagiri to the sun. See, I can cover you. But how much time? The cloud cannot defeat the power of the sun. Right? Bhakti is like that. If we have strong determination, then Maya cannot touch. Krishna Surya Saman Maya Naya Teradikar. Krishna is compared to the sun. There is no question of Maya there. Okay, we'll stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srilaprabhupada ki.